Okay, hello everybody. So I'm Laura from Move Wellness in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And today I'm going to do just a quick 20-minute Pilates based stretch and strengthen routine. So with our situation, if you do not have weights at home, I want you to go to your kitchen cupboard and get a couple of cans of beans, corn. I've got corn here that I'm using that we'll use for weight. And also I'd like for you to get a blanket. If you have one of these balls, they're real squishy playground balls. Grab one of those, and if you don't have that, then just get yourself a blanket, and I'm going to have you roll it up into like a ball-sized little roll. So either that or that. One other option I have is a candle. I'm going to use that for my weight for in a second when we get into that. So to start, I'm just going to have you come to your hands and knees, and we're going to take our time here getting warmed up. Just while you go to get your supplies, we'll just start slowly so that once you have everything, just set it over to the side so it's not in your way. And I want you to round your back to the ceiling, look at your knees and make sure they are hip width apart. And then we'll come to a flat back and go ahead and sway back towards the floor. And then round your back to the ceiling again, look at your knees, and then round your back towards the floor. We're going to do this one more time. Round your back to the ceiling, and then arch your back to the floor, and then come about halfway between those two extremes, and we're going to do a tail wag. So your tail, think if you had a handle, a doorknob, right on the base of your sacrum, right there in that level spot. Somebody is turning that knob left to right. And just do that a couple more times. And then come all the way to the center. Now to start, all I want you to do is bring your right arm out to the side like a T and just feel what happened to your body. Feel that waistline sort of engage while you hold that arm out to the side. Let's lower that hand and switch sides. And just hold it there. Feel what happened to your body. It knows what to do so that you don't tip over. And bring that arm back down. Now let's sit back on your heels and just reach as long as you can towards the end of the mat. Now walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. And then walk your hands over to the right. And then bring your arms all the way to the center. And I want you to turn and set now. Your knees are going to be bent. So we're going to do just a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. Your hands are on the backs of the thighs, and help yourself here. So your hands are really gripping so that as you roll your tail under, we want to think of rolling your tailbone towards the backs of your knees, and then just come all the way back up. So it's like you're rocking your tail under, tilting your pelvis back, and then come back up. Use your legs for help and roll the tail under, and then come back up. So we're just getting a little bit of a movement in the pelvis. You're rocking your pelvis around the head of your femurs, and let's come back up. And now as you roll back, you're rolling that tailbone towards the backs of your knees, and I want you to let go and just hold it down. Now we're going to relax your shoulders, scooping out your belly here. Your hands can stay on the backs of the thighs if they need to. I want you to go down just an inch, and then come up half an inch. Go down an inch, half an inch up. We're slowly making our way to the floor. Slowly down, half an inch up, and down, and up. Remember to use your legs for help if you need to. An inch is this much. We're going tiny movements, down and up. Reaching your tailbone under and reaching your belly button towards the floor. Reaching that low back towards the floor. And once you can't hold it any longer, just make it all the way to the floor. And we're all going to meet at the bottom. So reach the legs out long. Your arms are going to come up over your head and just stretch it out. And then I want you to bring your palms down to the floor, bend your knees. Let's hug your knees in towards your chest just to get a little bit of a stretch for your low back. And then you're going to bring your feet to the floor. Now feel what happened to your low back as you place your feet on the floor. Feel a gentle curve start to happen in the low back. So I want you to scoot your feet and knees together, and let's bring your arms out to the side like a T. you're going to lean your knees to one side and then the other. And as you get that nice rotation, your thighs and feet are going to stay glued together. So if you lean to one side, the opposite foot's going to come up off the floor. Bring it to the center. So what we're doing is getting your spine warmed up and just getting some movement before we go right into the strengthening moves. So you just want to remember that's an important part. All movement happens from the center of your body. We want to have it nice and warmed up before we move into bigger movements. So we're just leaning the knees side to side. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Come all the way to the center. Now I want you to lift your one foot off the floor and then the other. Now I want you to feel your low back lengthened into the floor. Your belly button's drawing away from your shirt and the knees are stacked over your hips. So if you start to collapse in here, this is just a little bit this is not active enough. So take those knees away from your chest so that your knees are now over your hips. And we're going to do the lean again, squeezing those inner thighs together. Bring it to the center. Inhale, lean. Exhale, center. Inhale, lean. Exhale, center. And think about the hands of a clock. So if you're right at the center, we're just leaning 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock here. Bring it to the center. Inhale, lean. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Bring it to the center. Last one. All the way down. I want you to hug those knees into your chest and lift your shoulders up off the floor. And we're going to hug those knees in just as tight as you can. Make yourself into the smallest ball possible. And then lower your shoulders to the floor. And we're going to pick up those weights. One of your weights, either your candle, which is a little heavier than your can of beans or corn. Let's put the weight in your right hand. You're going to reach that arm right up to the ceiling and your other arm is going to come out to the side like a T. Take those knees away from your chest so they're stacked right over your hips. Now as you lean your knees, your arm's going to come out to the opposite side and bring that arm back up. Meet it in the center. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. Let's inhale to lean. Exhale, center. Inhale, lean. Exhale, center. And we're going to go 2 more here. And open. Meet it in the center. Last one. Open. Meet it in the center. Let's switch knees. Or switch hands. Sorry. The weight's going to go on the other side. Take that leg, the arm out to the side like a T. The knees are coming over your hips. I'm going to scoot this way because I think I need my hand within view. So you're going to lean your knees one direction and then meet it in the center. Arms and knees reach the opposite direction. Bring it back to the center. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. And close. Let's go 2 more here. And open and close. Now both arms are out to the side like a T and it's just the one arm that's moving. And bring it in, and I don't know what I said, but we're going to do one more now. And bring it to the center. Lower the feet to the floor, lower your arms to the floor. Let's take that other weight and bring the arms straight up to the ceiling. And I want you to just do a couple of lift and lower your shoulders. So I want you to get some movement in the shoulder blades. So we're just lifting the shoulders off the floor and then lower them down. I want you to imagine if a puppeteer is up there and you have strings attached to your fingertips and the puppeteer is up there pulling your arms away from the floor, and then you're going to use the strength of your shoulders to draw them back down. Lift and lower. So as you lower your shoulders, draw your shoulder blades together behind your back. Lift and lower. And I want your legs to be nice and long and active here. Lift and lower. Now settle those shoulders into the floor. Now just reach your hands towards your toes. Your feet are flexed. Nod your chin. And let's start to lift up. We're not going to come all the way up yet. Just reach long and then come back down. Arms reach up to the ceiling. And let's do that again. Hands reaching towards your toes. Lift up, reaching, and back down. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Reach your hands towards your toes, nod your chin, peel up, and then lower back down. Let's go 2 more of those. Just like a half roll up here, reaching your hands towards your feet, nod your chin, look at your toes, and come back down. Here's your last one. Reach towards your toes. How about halfway up? And come all the way down. Good job. Bend your elbows. I want you to bring your feet, your knees are going to be bent. Now we're just going to lift your hips up off the floor. And I want you to think of like really drawing those knees over your toes. Press your heels into the floor and keep the hips lifted. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your sit bones together. Your arms are going to reach up to the ceiling. Now as you lower your hips, the arms are going to come out to the side like a T and press it back up. And open. And up. Arms come open. And up. Two more like this. And up. Pressing those heels into the floor. One more. Hold it up there. Keep the hips lifted and just do the arms now. Open and close. We're going to go 3 more. Open and close. Here's 2. Open and close. Here's your last one. Open and close. Now very slowly for the count of 8, we're going to come all the way down. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, back up 8. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. One more time, down and up. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Really drive those heels into the floor. The slower the better. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to go down for 8 and we'll keep it down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Let's bring your arms down by your side. Take those weights over. Roll over to one side so that you can come all the way up. And you're going to bring your legs now towards the end of your mat, or just if you're on carpet, that's good too. If you have your ball or your rolled up blanket, we're going to bring that blanket or ball right towards the center of your, think of right about your waistband, or maybe even a little lower. I sort of have it wedged under there. Make sure that your weights are within reach. Now we're going to think of that is this sort of like a landmark to reach towards. So you're going to reach your belly button towards that blanket or towards the ball. And once you start to connect into it, it shouldn't slide away. I sort of have a sliding mat and the blanket's not staying still as much as I'd like. Maybe if I sit on a little corner of it, and then it'll not roll away for me. So I want you to just think of, you're being propped up a little bit here, reaching the belly button towards that blanket. Now you're going to take the weights into your hands and keeping this connected, reach your arms forward and then the elbows bend back. And reach your arms forward. Let's flex your feet, just because I like to have some engagement down the backs of the legs. Just reach your arms forward and bring it back. Now if you feel anything in your low back at all, maybe try to tilt back about an inch more. Bring forward and back. If you don't feel enough in your abs, roll the tail under just a little bit more and reach towards that blanket a little bit more. Now remember, if your doctor told you not to do something, don't do it. And if anything hurts, just stop, okay? Back and forth. 2 more right here, and forward. And here's your last one. Bring it forward. Now lower those weights to the floor, and I want you to lift the chest to the ceiling to get some length. And we're going to change the position of the arms, so get that blanket wedged back in so that you can reach your low back towards the blanket. You should be sort of propped up here, so if your blanket is sliding like mine, I'm going to actually switch out, and for me, this is going to work a lot better, I think, that ball is here. So if you have this in a good place, that shouldn't feel like it's sliding out. You should feel pretty propped up, like you're sitting in a lounge chair. Think of a lounge chair. Your elbows are bent, and now we're going to reach your arms forward. You still have that connection, deep abs reaching towards the ball. Reach the arms forward, and then we reach them open like a T. Bring it back forward and sweep them in. And bring it forward and open and close. and bring it in. Now, you can bend your knees. You can come up just a little bit. I want you to feel this in the low abs. If you feel it all in your back, roll the tail under, scoop the belly in just a little bit more, and then start with the arms. Taking this lever out away from the body is where the challenge is. So reach the arms open and close and bring it back in. Now we're going to reach the arms open and hold them open like a T. You see them out of the corner of your eyes. This can be done without weights at all or your weights. Now we're going to lift 1 inch up and down and lift and lift and lift. 4 more lifts. Here's 3 and 2. Hold the arms level. Now just take your left arm and reach it to the ceiling. You should feel this in your abs. A little arms too. Take that arm down and switch arms. Reach it up to the ceiling. And take that arm down. We're going to switch one more time. Up and bring it down. Tuck that tail. Reach your sit bones towards the backs of your knees. Reach the belly button towards the ball. Reach your low back towards that ball or the blanket. Reach your arms forward. Set it down. Reach your chest to the ceiling. Oh, get some length down the front of the body. That's nice. And come all the way in. Take the ball out of the way or your blanket. Your weight should be handy still. And we're going to come to all fours. And I want you to round your back to the ceiling just to get a nice stretch there through your back. And then round your back towards the floor and arch your back. And then come to about halfway between those two extremes. You're going to lift up nice and strong in the shoulders first. So really press the floor away. Now tuck your toes under and lift your knees off the floor 1/2 inch. And hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And lower the knees to the floor. Now, add that blanket. I'm going to place that blanket between my thighs. And you're going to squeeze it or the ball. And now lift your knees off the floor again. See how that changes. Maybe a little easier when you have the inner thighs active. Hold it. Hold it. Now lower your knees to the floor. Be sure to know that if this is a strain on your wrist, sometimes it helps to roll up your mat, and if your fingertips are below your wrist, sometimes that helps. So no, that's an option. And one thing that we want to remember, if we're strong in our shoulders, then we don't have as much weight just sagging down into those wrists. So press the floor away. You're squeezing the ball or the blanket between your thighs. Now let's do some push-ups right here. So down and up, down and up. And we'll do 2 more there. And up. Now to add a little challenge to this, we're going to put that together. So your knees are lifted off the floor. Squeeze that ball or the blanket. Let's do 5 push-ups. Your knees are going to stay hovering off the floor. And make sure the hands are a little wider than your shoulders. And let's go down and up. And 2. 2 more. Here's your last one. Lift and lower the knees. So keep squeezing that ball or the blanket. Hover your knees off the floor, and now I want you to tilt your knees left to right. Tilt and tilt and tilt. 2 more. Last one, come to the center. Lower your knees. Now, I'm going to move that out of your way. I don't know if that's so you can see my feet. If this is hard, if you're having so sometimes the feet aren't happy with this sort of tucked under position. You can do this whole thing without lifting without hovering your knees off the floor. So just the push-ups without tucking the toes under, lifting the knees as an option too. So we're going to put that together though. So if you're going there, your toes are tucked under. You're going to lift your knees off the floor 1/2 inch. Now sway to the left, do 1 push-up. Sway to the right, do a push-up. Sway left, hold it, push-up. Sway right, push-up. Sway left, push-up. 1 more, sway right, push up. Bring it all the way to the center. Lower your knees. Take that ball away or the blanket. Toss it over to the side and reach the hand forward. We're going to do 1 more action with the weight. So you're going to put the weight in 1 hand. And again, if your wrists are having trouble with this, try rolling up your mat and your fingertips are below your wrist, or if you need to grab a book to put your hands on so your fingertips are lower than your wrist. We're going to lift it nice and strong first through your shoulders, press the floor away with your left hand. And we're gonna lift that right arm to the ceiling. Elbows lifted up to the ceiling. Now straighten out the lower arm and bring it back in and out and in. So the elbows stay lifted. So we're using gravity and the weight of the can to target our triceps. 2 more. And in. Last one. And in. Lower that weight and switch hands. So now we're lifting up strong, pressing the floor away. Lift the elbow. Now straighten out the arm. And press. Keep going. Think of your hips are staying level and your shoulders are staying level. So I'm not opening up that shoulder. It's staying level as if that hand was still under it. 2 more presses. Last one. And bring it down. Now we can add a little challenge to this. You're on your kneecaps right now. Walk your hands forward so that now you're on the tops of your knees, not your kneecaps anymore. So my knees are bent. I can have my toes on the floor if I want. Your hips are going to stay level, and you're going to take that weight again. Reach your elbow to the ceiling. Keep the elbow lifted in space. Now press out. Press out. Now you'll find that your feet can be, they need to be wide on this to stay stable. Let's go 2 more presses. And then after your last one, we're going to bring it down and switch sides right away. Lift up first, press that floor away, bring your elbow to the ceiling, now press out long and press out. Keep going. Press out. You rock those hips forward. 3 more presses. Here's 2. Last one. And bring it all the way in. Now we're going to come to a full plank. So you were either here where we started or rock forward so that the kneecaps are not on, is the tops of the knees now, or tuck your toes under, straighten out your legs. Now, especially important here for the feet to be wide. And we'll do it again. That weight's in your hand, and then lift the elbow to the ceiling, and here we go. We're going to go 8 of them. 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring it down, switch sides, don't come down out of it, and whatever level you're at, go right into that tricep kickback. Keep the elbows lifted. And 3. Here's 4. You want to do 8. So whenever you're done with your 8, I think I have 2 more. Last one. Bring it all the way down. Lower your knees. Come all the way down and reach towards the end of the mat. Good. I want you to turn and just face forward here. You're going to stay on your knees, or we can be whatever comfort level that you need to be. Legs straight, legs crossed, on your knees. Wherever you're at, let's reach it up and over to the side. And switch. Up and over. So I want you to get some length first. So reach up, 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 and then over. And up and over. And we'll go 2 more. Up and over. And this was about 20 minutes of strength. You can do this 20 minutes and then move on to a workout. And this is Laura from Move Wellness in Ann Arbor, Michigan.